So as everybody knows by now, Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence rematch is supposedly dead in the water. It's not happening. It's not going down. And you got to ask yourself, bro, was the rematch ever going to happen at all? And I'm starting to think it never was going to be a rematch at all. I don't think it ever was. I told y'all, after Errol Spence got beat up in that ring, and all of a sudden he said he wanted to run it back and all this stuff. That was just for his fan base. That was for his fan base to absorb and run with it. Because the minute that Errol said that, his fan base was like, "See, I told you that's why we rock with Errol. He's a straight killer. He's a dog still. We still rock with Spence. He's brave for what to throw it back, run it back with Bud." And even I said, "Yo, he would have run it back with Bud. He got a lot of respect. He get my respect for that." And I honestly thought, well, since the fight happened already, they fought, then maybe the rematch ain't gonna be an issue, right? Like, they already fought, so the rematch shouldn't be a problem. Boy, was we wrong. It looked like it's the same patterns that we got before we got the first fight. This was supposed to happen. Injury. Errol got into this with his eye. And then he had a car wreck. Another supposedly another car accident. I'm like, come on, bro. The fight date was supposed to be this date, and then it was supposed to be pushed to this date. It's the same thing with the rematch. Errol Spence, he activated the rematch clause, right? He said he wanted the rematch clause. It was activated. I think it was activated on time. So the fight was supposed to be December. We February right now. So then you hear it was supposed to be December. That wasn't gonna happen. And then you hear it was supposed to be in March. That's not gonna happen. Then you heard it's gonna be in May. I'm like, yeah, it's the same thing. They keep kicking the fucking dates down the road, exactly like the first fight. So, and then in between it all, you hear all these excuses, and you hear all the injuries and the cataract surgery, and I'm looking at it like, bruh. And then, Terence Crawford is pretty much like they jammed him up, trying to jam him up. It's like, okay, well, Spence activated this thing. Was it to try to tie up Bud, like on purpose? And then you see the Tim Tszyu Bud fight supposedly fell apart, and Bud wanted to move up and get a belt up in another weight class, and that shit hampered everything too. And now I'm starting to think, well, Tim Tszyu fighting Thurman, maybe it was because they thought that Bud was supposed to, fight Spence in the rematch, and that probably was the reason why they went with Thurman. I don't know, but it's looking like this whole shit was a game, bro. It looked like Errol Spence playing games. It looked like they intentionally tried to tie Terence Crawford up to stop him from getting the belt at 154, and it maybe even stop him from taking any other fights. It's what it looked like to me. Because how you go activate a rematch clause, and you already knew you supposedly had an eye injury, and then you spring this on everybody, and you activate the clause, and then you say, oh, you got a cataract surgery, and the cataracts is the reason why you got beat up in the ring by Bud. And Bud responds and say, you know what, I don't even want this shit no more. Good luck. And then you come out of nowhere because Bud said he don't want to fight. Now you talking about get out your feelings and be running back. And shut up, nigga. Because if you really wanted to run it back with Bud, y'all would have kept this so-called cataract injury under wraps. Nobody would have heard about it. You would have heard no excuses about no ribs. None of that shit. If you really wanted to run it back with Bud, man, stop it, bro. It's all a game, bro. He been playing games with Bud this whole time. And the only reason that first fight happened, everybody thought, Spence made the first fight happen. No, he didn't. His handlers got in his ear. They was like, yo, look, we gonna go get these bags. We on the way of cashing your ass out. That's pretty much saying it without saying it, bro. Just my take. They tied that man up, tried to tie him up. And then I was hearing that even though that he had to honor the rematch clause, I was hearing that it was supposed to be another deadline that Errol Spence missed. And if that deadline didn't get followed through on, then that freed up Terence Crawford so he can go ahead on and do his, move on for the rematch. I don't know anybody got any more reference on that, y'all could drop it in the comments, talk to me about it. But that's what I was hearing. So now it looks like Bud is moving on. They tried to tie my man up, and it didn't work. So who's the next opponent? I don't know. I don't think it should be Canelo right now. It should be somebody else, maybe Boots. I definitely like the Boots fight. So don't be surprised if that's the way Terence Crawford is looking. It might end up being Gerard Ennis next. So we'll see, man. But damn, man, the games that Errol Spence and his team play, and how they try to shut my man out of getting the belt at 154, trying to make it harder for him to get a belt up there, it's crazy, bro. Because it felt bad that their boy got spanked like that and got all the belts took him. So that's IBF is all so strict on shit now. Okay, strip. And then I think Bud still holds some of the belts, right? Because the WBO and the IBF. So the WBO, oh no, sorry, the IBF is held by Gerard Ennis now. So I think Bud still got the other 3 belts. Well, I don't think he vacated them, did he? But if he didn't, so if he's holding on to him, maybe he's holding on to him because a fight between him and Boots is coming. So we'll see. But anyway, let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think Errol Spence and his team were playing games this entire time with this rematch and purposely trying to tie my guy Bud up? I think so. Anyway, drop a comment, talk to me. It's Rebel Life Boxing. I'll catch y'all later on the next one.